Who knows the legend embodied in the form of the KJW KCo2? You know, the $250 gas blowback 1022 replica that, like the Tokyo-Marui VSR-10, has been around for a while but still demands respect for its performance, with some even saying that the KCo2 is the most accurate gas blowback. But if we go one step further and throw on all the top-of-the-line parts you can find, then you might get one of these masterpieces. Welcome to the newest rendition of the Airsoft Top Series, the series that some people take a bit too seriously, especially when their build doesn't at least make the runner-up spot. Seriously, I've created a monster disguised as a countdown show. I'm sorry. But let's get right into this show. This is the top 7 KCo2 builds. Let's expose the world of Airsoft the right way, one build at a time from all around the world, starting in California at number 7. Designed by his 4-year-old son, Joseph couldn't see any other build for a top precision gas blowback rifle than the KCo2, yet this Nerf homage is stock on the inside. The $375 budget went towards the custom laser engravings and the custom fitted Archangel 1022 stock from PROMAG. Then there's the paint job, barrel job, the long suppressor with foam and wood barrel spacers holding it up. Then to conclude, Joseph has a 3x9x40 replica leupold scope. The KCo2 has lots of different modifications, and this fun gun matches that. However, moving down the line from the US to Sweden, it's the multiple time submitter Måns, the Hellspawn Sniper. This builder can be normally found on his Instagram at hellspawn_sniper, where he shows off a lot of his gear, but what you're here for is this KCo2 that's been filled with all sorts of upgrades, which includes a KF piston, a Shapeways rocketvalve and hopup for a VSR-10 PDI W-hold bucking inside a Tokyo-Marui 430mm 6.10 inner barrel, with a MAG CNC Hammer Set partnered with a 150% spring. This rounds out a 475 feet per second gun shooting with .2s, and 354 feet per second with Hellspawn's preferred 40-gram BBs. And did I mention that Swiss Arms go-over outer barrel suppressor for a KGW M700 or the Vision King scope and magpul stock and other furniture? Well, if you like the look of this and you're thinking about replicating, then you might have to dig for about $500. This is for a high performance and fun gun to build, or as Måns told me, you could just add any real 1022 exterior parts or stocks. But what do you expect from a gun replicating an old Tony Cobra rifle that once dominated worldwide fields? Just think of the KCo2 as a Skyline GTR. They're legends in the professional Japanese racing circuit for a reason. Next up at number 5, I don't need to write my own script, as this builder from Sweden pretty much wrote one himself. Hi there, my name is Emil from Stockholm, Sweden. I chose the KCo2 because I really like the gas system and its consistency, and that it's so compatible with aftermarket parts for the real Ruger 1022. It's just so much fun to use and tinker with. Internally, I have a PDI 6.05 430mm inner barrel, a 3D printed hop-up chamber that takes VSR-barrels and buckings, 3D printed barrel spacers, an aluminium piston made by Kevin Forney, and an RA-tech NPAS-valve to control my muzzle velocity. Externally, I have a muzzle light bullpup conversion kit, which is pretty obvious, made for a Ruger 1022, so it's the real steel kit. It has been modified for a KCo2 to fit inside. I've also modified the rail on the carry handle to use a better quality weaver rail instead of the plastic rail that was included in the kit. And I think I modified the trigger linkage with a roller bearing to get a shorter, lighter trigger pull. Future plans for this kit includes an MP5 mag HPA adapter from Arlene AF Fox, featured here, and an Arduino based ammo counter with the LCD display embedded right on the side of the stock, which I think myself would be really cool. And all this you see here was put together for $600. And that's a great way to take up the number 5 spot. So in total, about 70 builds were submitted for the show, which was pretty good, especially for a specific topic like KCo2s, but if you're interested in turning in for the next countdown, then be sure to check out my Facebook and get your gas blowbacks ready, because the next show will be over anything gas blowback from rifles to pistols. So there's your heads up. Now we're at number 4, and we're jumping into Hong Kong for this built to last rifle from Philip. Placed inside a T22 chassis from Troy, this Law Technical Gen 3 side folder was fitted with a magpul CTR stock and a Sage bipod. This was all done to make what Philip says the lousy externals more solid and less toy-like. Internally for function, Philip added a precision cut inner barrel, a new piston, and enhanced steel fire controls by MAG. But the original receiver wouldn't fit into the T22 chassis if it wasn't for some handmade parts like a new top rail to fix the barrel to the body, and a thick ring to hold said barrel center inside the handguard. And with those handmade details and a very unique body wrapping the once basic KGW, Philip was able to snag the 4th spot with the judges, leaving only 3 spots to be revealed. So now the United States gets to flex their muscles again because Chandler of Chicago really showed up the polls with this short-barreled rifle that'll be taking up the 3rd spot. This might look basic at first, but have you seen Chandler's parts list? Starting with the bolt, I can see a one and only baby blue Rogue Works custom aluminum bolt, a 3D printed stainless steel gold plated charging handle, a top hat runner 3D printed hop unit to take VSR buckings and AEG barrels. That works with a Maple Leaf 75° VSR bucking with the Prometheus EG 6.03mm 260mm barrel. Then around that barrel would be top hat barrel stabilizers. And to make this shorty CQB friendly, a cradle velocity reducing rocket valve was equipped. Outside, we can see that custom cut outer barrel with a CHS tank carbine aluminum muzzle brake at the end, some tan rail covers, a Stark Arms AFG, a 7-year-old Tough Force tubular red and green dot, an MFT AR pistol grip, an RA-tech extended mag release for fast reloads, GMP QD sling swivels for an M4, and a Mission First Tactical Battle Link minimalistic stock in flat dark earth. And this all makes up a total of $975 put into this build. This gun was made so if Chandler wants to go speed softing in the arena, then he can do it. Or if he wants to take out a guy on the other side of the field, he can do it. But this gun remains its owner's favorite for all the amazing support groups and forums online. And because it's a great tool to use when you want to get those juicy CQB gameplays. A link to his channel will be linked down below. So from 7 to 3, are you enjoying this countdown? Some of these builds might seem a little basic, especially once we transition into the runner-up spot, so just remember how Chandler's gun looks now. Because I'm gonna open up a gap here. Let's check out the runner-up spot. Introducing Stefan of the UK.
Oh damn!
I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but this has got to be the best looking KCo2 I have ever seen, bar none. That chrome is just way too eye-catching to resist. This thing belongs on a shelf next to a collection of trophies in someone's study or in a high-rise loft. But the beauty of this piece is not just on the outside. Of course, there's the Chrome 1 specs and a custom designed tarring carving stock that by itself could probably take a #1 spot somewhere. But there's also an RA-tech mag release and an RA-tech spiral grooved outer barrel, which are also hardened chromed. Inside, Stefan added a 150% spring and the same top hat runner hop-up chamber as Chandler. Next, he added a couple barrel spacers, a PDI inner barrel, a KF aluminum piston, a Rogue Works bolt, and a Bushnell 3x9x50 scope on top. With this list, even a big spending airsofter would be jealous. But the real price only came out to $1,260 US. Yeah, only. Oh man, I just can't get over those looks. However, the real thing that makes this rifle so special is that it's a memorial piece for its owner's late father. He always wanted to go out and play airsoft with his son, but he just couldn't due to his poor health. Truly a fitting piece to keep those memories alive. Alright, finally I've reached a #1 spot after, 4 days of editing and writing? You'll never truly understand what it takes to put these countdowns together because things never go smoothly when taking in entries now, especially since the popularity for the Airsoft Top Series has kind of blown up. But enough of all that, it's time for the top spot, the #1 spot that's held by the country of Greece thanks to George and his Tanakoba receiver swapped Blue Barracuda rifle. Taking the longest time to put together and searching the world over the web for every part needed and costing George an amount of money he's not willing to share, you should just know that the receiver alone with nothing inside costs $260, if you can find one. George is the type of builder who visualizes the look that he wants before going out to replicate it. It's not the cheapest method, but sometimes it's the only method in order to build something special. First off, on the inside, everything has been swapped out for all steel parts. A steel sear, a steel hammer, spring guide, everything is steel, except for the aluminum Kevin Forney piston and the RA-tech 6.1 inner barrel. As I hinted earlier, George hunted down a Tanakoba receiver for this Olympic style piece, but he had the outer barrel made from real carbon fiber. This acts as a spacer for the inner barrel, giving George no wobble between the two, aiding to max accuracy with the help of an FE bucking and a 150% spring. RA-tech also makes up the mag release and the scope rail. And that beautiful boys Barracuda stock that you see was extensively modded to fit the receiver. I see this rifle as elegance you may never see on the field. I'm surprised this is something that actually is played with at all. I'd be too scared to ruin such a masterpiece. The same goes for Stefan's rifle, but it's their rifle, so I say good luck and be sure to take care of them. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Airsoft Top Series, and I hope that you would subscribe if you haven't already to help me pass 50,000 subscribers. Or just like the video and comment down below about your favorite build that you saw here today. I plan on opening the submission polls for the newest countdown in a couple days, so be sure to keep an eye out for that on my Facebook or on my Instagram that will be linked down below. I'd like to thank you for watching and for every builder that submitted for this show, but until next US Airsoft original hits from the city of San Antonio, this has been Scott Holmbeck, and I will be sure to see you all next time.